Hello, this is my Cyber Patriot 15 incident report for the state round in Platinum.
I'm Alex, and I'll be
I'm
going over
Will, and
this.
I did the Windows 10.
I have attached references to our
Over here, we
support
have
report
references
for
to our
Linux
README
and to the README if you would like
right
to know
here
more about this
that tells us
complication.
about the users and what we need to
For
remove and
forensics
whatnot.
questions, we decided to
And
skip
here,
them
I
because we
also have
knew
my
they were
scoring
too
report.
difficult. Because after an hour of attempting them, we made little to no
We had two
progress.
forensics questions in Windows, and
User
the first
management.
question was asking about
User
our
management is
computer's
a vital
registry
part of
key and
cybersecurity.
asked for
We
the
want to make
full
sure that
path to the
people who are supposed to have
registry
access
key,
have the
including the
correct
Hive
privileges,
and
and
value
people
name,
who aren't
which can
supposed to
be
be on the system,
used
like they've been
to
fired
change RDP
or
port.
they've been demoted,
We found the
have
registry key
or
by
just
going
have
into the
admin
H key
privileges
local
that
machine and finding the
don't have
registry key
access
to the
to the right
RDB port,
information.
which was named port
While
number.
user management
Because of
used to
this,
be
we have
vulnerable
the
to a malicious
full Hive and value name,
employee
which is H key
to
local
maybe
machine
be very
slash
mad at you
system
for
slash
firing them
current
or
control
something, and
set
then they might
slash
destroy your
control
network.
slash terminal server slash win
The only
station
person
slash
in your
RDP
network who had an unsecure password
TCP
was
port number.
Sherrington. Their password was a
The
horn.
second
We made it so they
forensics
had to
question,
change their
it
password
asked
to meet
about
the
remote
complexity
desktop
requirements
users
we have
that
set
may be
on the next
vulnerable to
login.
Bluekeep, and we need to find the IP address of this user. This is very difficult to solve, and we did get it in the end. However, I believe we were pretty close because we went to the TeamViewer, which was a remote desktop app that allowed users to connect to devices, and I was able to find the logs, but I couldn't find the correct IP address to it, so we didn't find the right answer. In users, we had one user named User2 who was removed because he was an unknown user that could endanger the safety of the network. We also made M. Mayfield into a regular user instead of an administrator because he was not listed as an administrator in the README. And this is important because if he was an administrator, then he could compromise the safety of the computer. We also updated the password of S. Harrington to a more secure password, which is important because if he has a weak password, then outsiders could easily brute force the password by guessing it over and over with a computer program. We also made sure that O'Callahan had his account enabled, which
Hello,
is
this is
important
going to
because
be the
he is not able
incident
to use
report
his
for the
account if
Cyber
it is
Patriot
disabled.
State Round for Dinosaur Emoji on the Linux device.
In our
I'm
policy
Alex, and I'm going to go
management, we
over it.
had security
I have
policies
attached
which
references to our
we
scoring
went
report
into and
and the
audited
README if you would like
everything,
to know more
including the
about
successes and
what we
failures
did in the competition
of
and what
the
points we
computer
got.
management.
For forensics, we as a team decided to skip it because we
Here
knew
in
they would be
password
difficult,
policies,
especially
we
in the
made
platinum
sure
division which
that
we competed in.
the passwords were secure by making
We
our
tried for an hour,
passwords,
didn't get much progress, so
making
we
sure
just
that they weren't
stopped.
shared for more than
We had
10
better
days, changing
opponents
passwords
with the
every
abilities we
15
got.
days, using
User
reversible
management.
encryption, and having a
User
minimum
management is a
length
vital
of
part of
7 words,
cybersecurity. You want to make sure that people who
7
are supposed
letters.
to have access to
In
have the correct
firewall,
privileges, and the people
we
who aren't
had
supposed to be on the system
just
or have too
made
many
sure that our
privileges are
firewall was
corrected.
enabled, and I also
While
set
user
it to scan
management,
for
your
any
network could be
viruses
extremely
or
vulnerable
malware.
to a malicious player.
Inside
For
of our
example, a
services,
disgruntled
we
employee
had
who you just let
made
go.
sure that our
They might have
services
admin
were
privileges or something, and
only
they could just
enabled for the
completely
correct
sabotage your
users, such
network.
as like administrators or users that were allowed to
You want to
use
make
them,
sure
and
that
made sure
the
that
people have the right
unauthorized
privileges
users were removed from these security
that they're
measures.
supposed to have, and the people who aren't supposed to be on the system get access to the
We
system.
also had a lot of software
We
applications that we had to
just
remove or update.
cite our
One of
hygiene
them was
standards.
TeamViewer, and
The user
if you
Sherrington
remember
had an
correctly
unsecure
from
password of a horn,
our
so we
second
made it that they
forensics
have to change
question, it
their
was
password to
actually
meet the
an
complexity requirements the next time they attempt to
remote
log in.
desktop app that allowed
Having such
users
a
to connect
short
from outside
password
the
could
local
be
system,
very
which
easy
could
to brute
harm
force.
the
A brute
computers
force
in the
is
system
where they
if it
just
was an
guess and guess and
outsider.
guess what your password is using a script until they get
The
in.
only file remaining from
So
TeamViewer
we
after
set the
removing
minimum
it was the
password
logs,
requirement to have
which
10
we used to
characters.
try to find the IP
This will
address
make
of
the
the
brute
user,
forces
but
less
unfortunately we weren't
effective,
able to find it.
and you'll be able to see
We also
effectively
had
the body
Chromium,
logs
which was removed because it is
someone
another
tried to
web
brute
service
force into the
that we do
account.
not use and that could affect the security of the system. Because we
We
use
have enabled
Firefox and
extra
Firefox does not
dictionary-based
use Chromium,
password checks,
basically.
and this
We also
will
checked
make
for hidden
check
files,
your
and there was none
password
remaining
through the
for
English
Chromium.
dictionary
We
preventing
also
users from just
updated
having
Thunderbird
a
from
password like
91.0
hello
to
or password
102.0, which
or
greatly increases
string.
the security of the app
This is
and
an
also fixed
easier way
FX
to prevent
issues.
against hacking because simple words
In
like get
Tiled,
are
we
pretty easy
updated
to
from
hack and
1.8 to
guess, while a
1.92,
string of random characters
which
would be
updated security
significantly
policies
harder to
and
hack into.
UI issues, which is just
We have
user
been able to
interface
audit
issues.
logs for login success and failures, so when you can
We
monitor
also
through the
removed the
logs if
Burp
you're too
Suite
stuck or
community
just failed to
application
log into an
because
account.
it enabled the
If you
user to
notice
do
a lot
security
of
testing,
failures in the sim
which is
account,
not allowed for
you
regular
could suspect
users and
a
should
brute
be
force attack
removed.
or
We also
another
checked for
type
hidden
of hack,
files, and
and
there
you
were none
want to make
from the
sure
Burp
that
Suite
account
community.
gets locked down so that person who's trying to hack
Inside
in
GIMP, we found
doesn't
out that
get
it was
access to your system.
very old, and
Your firewall
we
was already
updated it
removed,
from
so we did not configure
2.10.24
anything and
to
we didn't touch it at all.
2.10.32, which fixed a lot
For
of
the
bugs
services, we didn't use
and
any
also
services. We
allowed for
just
support for
used the
8 and
terminal
16-bit
and that's it.
CMYKA TIFF files on import and also JPEG
For
XL
software application
files
management,
on
we found
export.
no unauthorized software
In
applications
Firefox,
by
it
your
was
company
also very,
guidelines,
very
so we
old.
didn't
It
remove
was version
everything.
56.0, which was released in
Updating,
2017, about 5 years
no
ago.
major
This
updates were
is
required for the
a very
system
old
or
version,
any of the
and we
software,
updated it
and no
to
maintenance was required.
107.01, which included a UI
Anti-malware
overhaul, which is like
is
the user
essential
interface
for
overhaul, and a lot of
cybersecurity.
security
Malware and
processes were
viruses
also
are very
um,
harmful to your system
put
and
in
for
place and
activity. They
makes
can
the browser
compromise the
more
security of
private
your
and safe
file,
for the user.
and you could easily lose
For our
funds.
malware,
And this is why you
we
need
used Windows
antivirus,
Defender to
but you
check
should
for
not
any
install any antivirus
malware to make
because
sure the computer
we
was
don't
safe,
know how to
and
install
we didn't find anything.
a antivirus on Linux,
The
and
antivirus didn't find anything
Linux
wrong
is
with
also
the computer
relatively
or any
secure,
malware.
even
So
though
that's what
it's
we
strongly
did in
recommended
our
against
Windows 10
antivirus.
Cyber Patriot 15 Platinum State
So
round.
that concludes
Thank you for
my
watching.
overview